Tonight on OC News, we have a local dance competition who has accomplished something no other American ever has.
And has UCI taken the zombie apocalypse a little too far? That and more, including the recent firing of USC head coach Lane Kiffin. Straight ahead on OC News. Hello and welcome to OC News. I'm Christina Demikides.
And I'm Kaylee Krish. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. Los Angeles Gay Rights Group has once again launched another major challenge of Proposition 8. The addition to the Theodore B. Olson and David Boise were recently hired by American Foundation for Equal Rights to bolster their team and challenge the Virginia ban on same-sex marriage. This is not the first marriage ban Virginia has had to deal with. In 1967, there was a landmark ruling in the case Loving versus Virginia, which ended restrictions on mixed race marriage.
Advanced math and TV zombies in one college class starting October 4th at UC Irvine. We'll be offering a course called Society, Science, Survival, Lessons from AMC's The Walking Dead. This MOOC, or Massive Open Online Course, could be the largest ever. UCI is expecting thousands to enroll in this free class. 4 instructors will give lectures on subjects like public health, social science, physics, and mathematics. Students can enroll at www.canvas.net/TWD. ASI kicks off midterms week with beer. Root beer, that is. Here's Jessica Lau on Cal State Fullerton's Blocktoberfest.
ASI brings Germany to Fullerton as they host Blocktoberfest on September 26. Hundreds of students gather here after class to see this German-themed event, which include root beer, green hats, and German music. It makes it a fun day for students, especially on midterms week. Students have the opportunity to have henna tattoos, Jenga, caricatures, and soft pretzels. There are even some off-campus organizations such as Halloween Hunt, Scooby-Doo, and Snoopy. As a new and unique addition to the block party, they have the first hot dog race, in which students dress up in hot dog costumes and go through series of obstacle courses to win a huge prize. Blocktoberfest not only promotes ASI features, but also TSU Underground, in which they have free bowling and billiards, as well as free food, such as this cake pop. ASI leaders have a purpose for making Blocktoberfest a big event to students.
Just a really great way to promote what ASI can do for students here, but it also brings in other organizations to collaborate with this huge event. So we have like the Titan Bookstore out, we have Daily Titan and Titan Radio out today.
Many participants in this event showed appreciation.
The effort is really cool and it's really fun to see what they go through to make us feel like at home.
ASI kicked off their block party 14 years ago, and it continued to have a strong tradition of bringing students together. For more information on other ASI events, you can go online on their website at asi.fullerton.edu. With that being said, I'm going to enjoy this root beer. Reporting from OCN5, I'm Jessica Lau.
Halloween is all about tricks and treats. But for parents, it's about keeping kids safe. One safety regulation put into place by the City of Orange, however, is now being challenged. As of now, sex offenders living in Orange are required to post a sign on Halloween saying that no candy will be passed out at their residence. A lawsuit has been filed recently on behalf of John Doe, alleging that the city's law violates sex offenders' First Amendment rights, as well as causes physical and emotional harm. The Megan's Law online directory lists 84 sex offenders living in the city of Orange.
Kaylee Finnegan, a 15-year-old Dana Hill sophomore, is the world champion in Scottish dance. Finnegan won the World Highland Dancing Championship in Dunoon, Scotland in August. She is the first American to win the competition in any age bracket in 14 years. She is the first Californian ever. Competitive Scottish Highland dancing began in the 1800s. In a single 2-minute dance, the dancer will jump 192 times, and one variation of the dance involves dancing over 2 swords. To help you say goodbye to one of the best TV dramas out there, Breaking Bad, let's go to Seema Saraf with the news and series finale and your other entertainment news.
With a recent Emmy win for Best Drama on TV, Breaking Bad came to its highly anticipated end last night. After 5 years, the AMC series aired its last episode, and prior to showtime, the internet was buzzing with predictions about what would happen, which characters would survive, and of course, what would happen to Walt.
I think, and the writers will tell you, you can't please all the people all the time, but they've done a great job. Again, Vince came to us years ago and he said, we're going to take Mr. Chips, a mild-mannered chemistry teacher, and we're going to turn him into Scarface. And I think for anyone who's up to speed on the series, he is a bad guy, and it's going to, end in an incredibly fitting way.
And for the world of great television drama, another one bites the dust. Speaking of things leaving the small screen, Saturday Night Live is experiencing its own makeover as it goes out with the old and in with the new. New cast, that is. The 35-time Emmy Award-winning show is going into its 39th year with some less than familiar faces, half a dozen new faces to be exact. This is the largest group of newbie comedians to enter the legendary show at one time, but thankfully SNL has an uncanny ability to reinvent itself. Established comedians like Bill Hader, Jason Sudeikis, and Fred Armisen all said their goodbyes at the end of last season. Andy Samberg, who spent 7 seasons on the show, has a few words of comfort for the newcomers who may be feeling a bit nervous to fill such big comedic shoes.
You come in and everyone's comparing you to what it's been before. It's been on for so long. Everyone always thinks it was better just before what it is now until you figure out what it is now and the audience gets used to who you are.
Moving from the small screen to the big screen, let's take a look at the box office recap for the weekend. Coming in at number 5, pulling in a total of $9 million is Don John. Just ahead of Don John was Baggage Claim with $9.3 million. And starting off the top 3 with $10.3 million is Rush. Rush is based on the true story of the 1970s rivalry between Formula One race car drivers James Hunt and Niki Lauda. At number 2 with $11.3 million is Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman in Prisoners, the story of a desperate father going to extreme measures to protect his family while trying to find his missing daughter. And with this week's number 1 spot and a whopping $35 million is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. An animated film starring Bill Hader of former SNL fame and fellow comedian Anna Faris. That's going to do it for this week's entertainment update. Reporting for OC News, I'm Seema Saraf.
After the break, we take an inside look at Titan Sports, the firing of Lane Kiffin, and all the drama from sports-filled weekends.
Watching Titan TV.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
The odds of this daughter of a clergyman spending 11 weeks at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org.
Hello and welcome back to OC News. A new study finds more and more young athletes are going to the emergency room for head injuries.
When it comes to sports, concussions do happen, especially to young players. Now, a new study finds more and more children are going to the ER because of traumatic brain injuries known as TBIs, which includes concussions. Researchers from Cincinnati's Children's Hospital Medical Center found a 92% increase of young people who visited emergency departments between 2002 and 2011. But they also found that of the youngsters and teens who were admitted during the later years of that time period. The number of severe injuries was down. The study, which is published in this week's edition of the Journals of Pediatrics, looked at more than 3,800 children and teens who went to Cincinnati's Children's Hospital with sports-related injuries. Although the severity of the injuries decreased over the years, the number of TBIs increased in general. The study quotes CDC statistics showing TBIs is responsible for approximately 630,000 emergency visits, more than 67,000 hospitalizations, and 6,100 deaths in children and teens each year. So it's important for parents to know the signs of these injuries, such as concussion, slurred speech, or fatigue after a head injury.
As the Lady Titans look to find out where they stand with the best on the volleyball court, our men's soccer team pulled off an impressive victory this weekend. For more on sports, we go into the zone with Shay Ross.
Thanks so much, Christina. So much has happened in sports this weekend. Let's start off with our very own Titans volleyball. The team traveled to Hawaii this past Friday to play the number 6 nationally ranked University of Hawaii and got swept in 3 consecutive sets. The Titans committed to 21 attack errors and could only get off 23 kills, half of Hawaii's total of 46. 3 of the Titans shared the team high of 6 kills for the match: Elise Hensley, Bree Moreland, and Leah Best. So far in the season, the Titans have faced 2 nationally ranked teams, USC and Hawaii, and have come up winless to both teams. Titans need to be ready to play this upcoming weekend as they face off with 2 conference teams, UC Davis Aggies on Friday night and then Cal State Northridge on Saturday night. And in men's soccer, the Big Boys played Grand Canyon University this weekend to defeat them to a 3-2 win. The first ever matchup game with the Antelopes had both teams attacking freely in open space. The Titans jumped out to an early lead for the 6th time out of the 8 regular games they have played this season, leading the Antelopes by 2 goals. Grand Canyon University outshot the Titans in the second half, but the Titans got through it. In the 67th minute, freshman midfielder Steven Ortiz hit the eventual game-winner goal and scored his first goal of the season, keeping the lead to 3-1. Antelope's very own Alberto Sanchez Garcia took advantage of a Titans' misplaced pass and scored his second goal of the game, bringing the score to 3-2. Titans hung in there for the last minutes to claim their victory. The soccer team will be starting their Big West Conference play on Friday at UC Santa Barbara and Cal Poly Pomona. For more on Cal State Fullerton hockey team, we go out to Kaylee Krish reporting.
Road win against LMU on Friday night, the Titans welcome the Lions to their home ice where they hope to maintain their undefeated record.
The Titans come on to the ice for their second game of a doubleheader against LMU, hungry for the win. During the first period, both sides take shots, but neither team can seem to beat the goalie. But in the last minute, LMU gets a penalty, causing Fullerton to start the second period on a power play. They take advantage of the 5-on-4 as number 11 Alex Insulo sets up for number 14 Trevor Nielsen to hit the net. Titans take the lead 1-0. Almost immediately after, the Lions answer back as they scramble to tie the game 1-1. Tied at 2-2 in the third period, LMU scores with only 43 seconds left of play. The Lions get the victory over Fullerton with a final score of 3-2. The frustrated Titans take their first loss of the season. The team talks about what happened in those last minutes and how they will prepare for their upcoming game against Long Beach.
Couldn't put the puck in the net. I mean, we had a lot of pressure the first period and a half, and then we just kind of let down and got too relaxed. And you know, the game's 60 minutes, not 25. So
this loss is actually supposed to, it's going to bring our team together. It's a good thing to reflect on. And then Tuesday, Thursday, we practice and figure out all our flaws, where we have to improve on, and then go into the game with confidence.
Well, it was a disappointing loss as the Titans fell 3-2 to the LMU Lions. It came down to the final minute of play, and the Titans just couldn't hold on. But they look to regain their confidence against rival Long Beach State on October 4th at 8:30 p.m. From East West Ice Palace, Kaylee Krish, OC News.
And in other sports, One of the biggest talks around town is the firing of USC's head football coach Lane Kiffin. Yes, that's right, no more Kiffin, and fans are ecstatic about this news. Athletic Director Pat Hayden made a decision in the middle of the night to get rid of the coach of 3 years after a devastating 62-41 loss to Arizona State this past Saturday. The Trojans' record dropped 3-2 and 0-2 in the Pac-12. Kiffin, who succeeded Pete Carroll, had a great record in 2011, with Trojans being 10-2. After that season, the Trojans had a rough time fighting on through their worst season last year, being ranked #1 in the nation and having a 7-6 record. Kiffin is the first head coach to be fired in the middle of the season. Defensive line coach Ed Orgeron will serve as interim coach while the school seeks for a replacement for the program. And a recap from the NFL this weekend. And everything happened. Denver Broncos still on top, shutting out the Philadelphia Eagles 52-20, remaining with the undefeated title, while the Pittsburgh Steelers still remain winless, losing to the Minnesota Vikings in London 34-27. The New York Giants also took a beating 31-7 from Kansas City, making Kansas City an undefeated team also. Detroit Lions and Chicago Bears had an anticipating game, but the Lions defeated the Bears in a 40-32 victory. The San Diego Chargers came out on top, beating the Dallas Cowboys at home 30-21. As the hunt for October continues, the Los Angeles Dodgers kick off their postseason play against the Atlanta Braves Thursday, October 3rd on the road. Although manager Don Mattingly's goal for September was to get healthy, a late season-ending ankle injury to all-star center fielder Matt Kemp will have him watching the playoffs from the bench. Dodgers will throw out their ace Clayton Kershaw on the mound for game one, talking on the Braves' Chris Medlin. At last, but not least, we say goodbye to maybe the greatest baseball player in this generation. Yankees closer Mariano Rivera ending his career with 652 saves, 1,173 strikeouts, and a career 2.21 earned run average. I'm Shay Ross, and that's your In the Zone Sports Update.
Thanks, Shay. And straight ahead on OC News, we give you your 5-day forecast. And finally, someone has passed Coca-Cola for being the most loved brand in the world.
Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
I really want to show you something.
1, 2, ready, go! L-O-V-E. It's a mystery. All is love. Is love.
Did you play today? For great play ideas, visit www.smallstep.gov.
Welcome back to OC News.
As the fall season continues, local weather can't seem to find the right season to stay in. Today we had a high of 80 degrees, but we seem to have a cool down for the rest of the week until the weekend. Wednesday we have a high of 75 degrees, while Thursday isn't much different. There's a 10% chance of rain. For the weekend, make sure to put on some sunblock and head to the beach. This could very well be our last hot weekend of the year, with highs of 87 degrees on Friday and Saturday before it cools off to a little 85 degrees to finish the weekend.
In this digital world, you never want to fall behind today's trend. For more on staying in tune with technology, we send it to our tech expert, Morgan Lindsay.
Post-it notes may be the most iconic paper product out there, but they live in an increasingly digital world. A new partnership with the popular Evernote app brings Post-its into consumers' mobile devices. If you haven't yet joined the bandwagon of organization junkies, Evernote is an app that lets 75 million users save items like notes, audio files, and accesses them across mobile devices and desktops. Their latest mobile app update, released just last Thursday for Apple's iOS 7, includes a special Post-it note camera that lets users take photos of Post-it notes and upload them to Evernote, who uses handwriting recognition to make the contents of the notes searchable. You can also organize the notes by color, category, and add reminders and due dates. Post-it's head of stationery, Jesse Singh, said, "Our research shows that the majority of people still want to jot down things in analog form." Singh added that they're obviously using lots of devices as well, and we think this bridges the gap. The people have spoken. They want their Apple, not Coke, the brand that is. The tech giant has ended Coca-Cola's 13-year run as the world's most valuable brand on a highly regarded annual list. And the rivalry between Apple and Google has apparently been good to both. Bolstered by the dominance of its Android operating system, Google also leapfrogged Coke, moving into second place on Interbrand's yearly Best Global Brands list. They headed a tech-heavy list on which IBM, Microsoft, Samsung, and Intel helped round out the top 10. But Apple shone brightest as much for its role as cultural institution as for the products themselves. Interbrand CEO Jez Frampton said, "Every so often, a company changes our lives, not just with its products, but with its ethos. This is why, following Coca-Cola's 13-year run at the top of Best Global Brands, Interbrand has a new #1, Apple." A new study shows that 15% of adults are not online for reasons that range from lack of interest to fear of the unknown to not being able to afford a computer, says a new survey. Even more surprising, most of them are okay with it. According to the report from the Pew Internet and American Life Project, 92% of respondents who said they aren't on the internet also said they have no desire to be. As in earlier Pew studies, it appears that older Americans and those with less education are the least likely to be online. Web usage was also slightly lower among rural Americans and Hispanics. 44% of adults 65 or older said they don't use the internet. By comparison, only 2% of those between 18 and 29 said the same. Education was also a big factor. A full 41% of Americans who didn't get a high school diploma said they aren't on the web, compared to just 4% who said they have a college degree. The most popular reason was given was that some version of, "I just don't care about it." More than 1/3 said they're just not interested, don't need it, don't want it, or think it's a waste of time. Less popular reasons included not having a computer, saying web access is too expensive, and being limited by poor eyesight or another physical disability. Shockingly, only 3% of respondents said that they don't go online because of worries about things like privacy, viruses, spam, and hackers. And that is a wrap for our tech report. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Morgan.
That's it for us at OC News. The show is brought to you by Titan TV. Be sure to watch tomorrow evening for all the latest campus and community news.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Kaylee Krish.
And I'm Christina Demikides. Have a good night.